This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast, Friday, August the 18th, this morning, this afternoon, and for much of the evening, as a matter of fact.
True.
I made it through week 1 of trying to diet. No,
How much
that's
are you
not
down?
even true.
How much are you down?
I think I'm down 4 pounds.
Yeah.
It's easy 4 pounds.
I
know.
think you're down more than 4 pounds.
No, I don't know. Here's the thing, though. It's as much as diet, just I'm going to watch what I eat in smaller portions. But the big one is drink a lot more water.
Yes.
So I owe you a tremendous amount of thank you because every time I rush to the bathroom, I have to go right past you and out the door.
Okay.
So it's like you'll say, "Hey, I want to talk about."
I just think you're a jerk.
Zoom. Yeah.
No, I just think you're a jerk.
I just keep leaving the studio and rushing back in every 20
you're a jerk.
minutes. Yeah. With me and my baby bladder, as my daughter
Well,
calls
no,
it.
when you drink a lot of water, that's what happens. But that's also a very good thing and a good sign.
Is it? That's
Yes,
good
because you're
then?
flushing it out. You're getting
Okay.
everything out that needs to come out, which is more important. So what's the saying? Better out than in.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want it out.
This podcast cannot last any longer than 22 minutes because I know
You'll have to pee.
it will become painful again.
Yeah, there was a moment
such an
this
old
morning
guy.
where you said it's going to come out my eyes. It's going to start coming out my eyes.
Oh my
soon.
gosh, it's just... But anyway, so that's healthier, right?
Good job, Mark.
And you told me what? Cravings will last 2 weeks?
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
And then after that,
Once you
I'm
get
okay?
past, the first 2 weeks, it should get easier.
Okay, good.
Because you're essentially detoxing. And that's what the flushing is too, right? It's getting all that out. So I know in the past when I've tried to eliminate something or cut back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the cravings and you get for no reason.
That's
it's
right.
It's like it's very much like a drug.
Yeah.
Certain foods are very
Right.
drug-like in
I
that
would
sense because you
never think
crave
of
them.
I never want them. I never think of them. I just have them. Then when I don't, my
Mm-hmm.
body wants it.
When we cut back on sugar, that was a tough one. And that's a big one. That's the one you really want
Yeah?
to strive
Okay.
for.
Okay.
Not natural sugar so much as like white sugar.
Sure.
That you add to stuff. And that's tough. I didn't realize how hard it would be to cut back on sugar. And it's in everything. So it's tough. It's really tough.
And of course, it's expensive to eat well, right?
Yes.
So I
especially now, yes.
I couldn't find delicious apples because I love those. But I found a type of apple called, have you heard of this? Cosmic Crisp.
No.
They're enormous. I meant to bring one in.
They're enormous.
They are. They're bigger, a little bit bigger than delicious apples. But they have that same shape, but they're actually a little bit larger. It's like, so
What do they taste like though?
I bought 4 of them and it came to almost $7.
Yep. I believe
For
it.
4 apples.
Is it like a sweet apple or is it more of like a bitter?
It's
or like
a little bit
sharp
better than a delicious. It's like a
Oh.
delicious, only even a little bit sweeter.
Okay.
And if this is possible, it's even crispier. And it was
Oh.
called Cosmic Crisp.
Huh.
And when they go down to like 75 cents an apple, I'm going to buy a dozen of them because they are And how much healthy
Might
is
be
that,
a
right?
while before that happens.
But yeah, well, I think it came to $6.81 for 4 of them.
That would be
So-
very good. And apples are very good.
So things like that. And yes, I will go forever without eating an apple, and that's ridiculous.
I've never been
That's
a big
ridiculous.
apple eater. I've never been a big fan of apples.
Fruit, I
And I
just
feel
have more
guilty
of.
about that.
Yeah?
The apples were never something. A banana, yes.
Yeah.
Sweet grapes, I did like
Yep.
when they're really ripe and
yeah.
absolutely. Cherries, raspberry, like berries, love berries. Apples just were never something that I would. The kids, Wayne, absolutely.
Love apples, yeah.
Me, not so much.
So I just have to be better about that. So anyway, that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying. I'm not getting all preachy. I'm not
No.
doing a
Withdrawal was the word I was looking for. You go
Yeah.
through withdrawal almost of everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and just kind of get through that and then
And
hopefully get
it
down
sounds
to,
like you're doing great with it already.
just want to get down
But
to
you will
everything
drop
fitting a little
the
better.
weight. I know. Oh my God, tell me. The winter weight
Yeah.
never really left, and now it's going to start again and get bigger.
That's
and
what I was
oh
afraid
my
of.
God.
Yeah, you might get to 100 pounds.
Oh, shut up. I haven't been 100 pounds since Probably I wasn't even 100 pounds in grade 9.
March.
But high school. It would have been high school.
You're a teeny person.
I'm short. I'm not a teeny person. I am short.
Okay. Well, I think you're a teeny person.
Well, thank you, but no.
In a positive way.
Well, thank you.
In a positive way, everybody.
Thank you very much. But yeah, so we talked about grass cutting this morning. This is something you had been wanting to talk about for a while, and I didn't I kind of suspected the way you built it up. I was like, but I was surprised at how into it you got.
Kath came up with this idea, and I don't know why, that don't just cut the lawn north-south.
Willy-nilly.
12-6.
Straight lines.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
She said one day, I'm pretty sure it came from her. I don't think I did it on my own. I'm not that creative. To mow the lawn diagonally.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, but people are going to walk by and they're going to see the pattern and wonder what's going on.
Really? Did it seem that foreign to you? Had you never seen a lawn or anything cut diagonally before?
I'm not sure. Like, I don't
you didn't
remember
notice
how.
It.
You're right.
Clearly, you didn't notice it until.
I didn't.
Okay.
So I started doing that. And the thing is, we always had the trees up between the properties.
Yes.
With Jeff and Tanya on the one side and Kath on the other.
Yes, and then you'd had them all taken down.
And then they all had to be taken down. So now when I do it, it looks so obvious because so now Jeff started doing it the same way.
Cut?
Yeah, so that it looks like our lawns match up. So it just looks. So when House and Garden comes by to take pictures, it just looks amazing.
Yes.
And if he goes the other way, we make it look like chevrons, right? Where it's like we meet at a point, but they go in opposite directions. So we just have this thing figured out. But anyway,
so do you switch it up or does he switch it up?
No, I always switch it up.
Okay.
I go and leave it that way.
Well, as we've learned, though, that's good.
Yeah, but I only did it because of the aesthetically pleasing look of the pattern on the lawn. Mm-hmm. And everybody who does something with Bob Mitz phoned in.
Yes.
And he's a volunteer grass cutter up at
the museum.
Yeah, up that way. We had 2 golf courses, Workworth and Trillium Wood, text in saying, oh no, change the direction of the way you mow the lawn so that the grass will grow straight up. Otherwise, it get used to getting pushed over the same way. In fact, if you go in the same pattern, your wheels eventually start to leave marks.
And because you're blowing the grass the same way every time, you're not cutting it all the same length because it bends over or it's covered. And as you said, the weight of the machine affects it too.
Yeah.
We've always done that.
Really?
Wayne has always cut it differently. My dad has too. He does a different pattern every time.
Wow. See, I had no idea. I thought that I had invented something.
I know you did. And that's why I was kind of like,
This is going to be funny. I'm going to let him go.
Maybe in your neighborhood, Mark. Maybe you started the trend in your neighborhood. But I had seen it before.
But because what's crazy is our lawn has never looked so good the last couple of years. And the thing
that's
is,
why.
I just assumed it was because it was raining a lot. But it's like, no, wait a minute.
It helps the lawn to spice it up every once in a while. Cut it a different way.
Yeah.
And it allows it to grow better.
So I have to do a 3/6, a side to side for one pass too, because it's only diagonal, like left to bottom corner, then up this corner down to that one. Those are the only 2
You're gonna
patterns.
have to do horizontal and vertical lines too.
Yeah, just to really kind of change it up. Like when I give up in September.
And then it kind of changes it up for you too, I would think, as the grass cutter.
I kind of like it.
Does it keep you interested? I would think it would keep you interested doing different patterns.
Here we go. You ready?
Okay.
I'm going to admit this on the podcast, that when you do that first one from the upper corner to the lower corner, I now know that every line after this is shorter.
It's true.
So it's because, but when you go one length, it's like it's the same length all the time. So boring. It's
know. It's the psychology of it.
That's right. That as I get to the outside, my lines are getting smaller. I can feel.
But then you got to do the other side and start again.
But I can sort of feel the progress of the lawn mowing as it gets shorter.
See that. Yep.
I'm playing in my mind. Why? Because I'm a 60-year-old child. I'm a 12-year-old boy and a 60-year-old man going, when am I going to be done mowing the lawn? Like, right? Like, what is wrong with me?
Well, it's funny you say that because our 12-year-old has started cutting the grass.
Good for him.
Well, we maybe should have got him doing it sooner, but our yard is very uneven. So we were kind of, well, there's some hills.
Right.
There's some hills. The backyard is there's a hill at the back that's very steep, and our ditches are very steep. So we've been leery about it, but we do have flat patches. So we thought, okay, he needs to start doing this.
I can push more, right?
No, it's a riding lawnmower, it's a riding lawnmower too. So it's a bigger machine. Mm-hmm. So but Nathan is huge, so he can do it now. But he started cutting the grass, which he is going to do today too. And Wayne is keeping him on the straight lines for the moment until he gets that down. But that has been very interesting to watch as the mom and the wife, because I'm trying to stay out of it and let them look after it, because the grass is Wayne's. He is very adamant that he is doing that. That's his thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very territorial.
So to have Nathan do it, number one, is huge for him. But then to watch him try and educate, try to instruct Nathan as well, is also very entertaining for me. Because he's trying. I don't know how it was with you and Andrew, but I can see the patience dropping with every row Nathan does. And Nathan, for his credit, is trying to.
He's trying
to. It's just interesting to see that father-son.
Sure. That dynamic play out.
Dynamic,
you almost have to let the lawn look like junk for the first 4 or 5 times and live with it till he gets better at it.
And that's what Wayne is struggling with.
Or you're doing it forever.
Exactly.
Because I think I'm doing it forever. Like, Andrew's moved out. But
the first time he let Nathan do it, it was it was tense. And I said that to him, like, it's the first time, like, you need to relax. It's the first. He's like, yeah, but he missed this spot. I'm like, I know, but it's the first time he's doing it. Like, give him a chance. And he said that. He's like, I'm going to have to go back over it. I said, maybe, but just... And then last week, he actually he removed himself completely. Just come and get me when you think it's done. And didn't watch him and didn't...
Right.
And it was a lot better.
Good. And he's okay on a riding lawnmower. In his head, he's doing on NASCAR, right?
Yes. He knows well, and we've told him this is as fast as you go.
Yep.
This is as low as the blades go.
Oh, yeah.
And you take your time and you do it.
Yep.
And then... come get us when you're done.
Because we've got a little bit of slants, and I was worried about Andrew on the riding lawnmower. So I think I just had him doing the push mower areas, and I did the riding lawnmower. I think I honestly can't remember, but I don't think he mowed the lawn as much as I should have had him do.
Do you remember any sort of argument?
No.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
No,
good.
I don't think so. Not any more than
frustration?
Any more than clean your room or anything else.
Okay.
I don't think it was like the lawn mowing was a...
It's like a rite of passage, though.
Yeah,
it really is.
It is, yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know. I just feel proud that he's doing this, that he's now, and relieved and kind of excited that we're handing stuff off to them to do now.
12 seems right.
I think so.
For the age.
Like Ben would be doing it, of course. He would have started doing it at 6 if we let him.
Yeah.
Like he's just biting at the bit to get out there and get on it. And
on the riding lawn, not the push mower.
No, we don't have a push mower.
Oh, okay.
No.
So how do you do your hill then?
On the riding lawnmower.
But that's straight up and down then, right?
Side to side. Wayne goes side to side on it. He kind of wheels around.
He's not worried about tipping?
He has tipped it.
Yeah, that's not good.
No,
not
he doesn't
good.
seem to be. He had surgery a couple of summers ago, so I cut the grass. And again, a reminder that I'm not to cut the grass anymore after that episode.
Oh, no.
But I did. I did it until he was able to. It was fine. I did a fine job.
Of course you did.
He is just he likes doing it. But when it came to the back hill, it made me nervous.
Sure, yeah.
It was like, wow, this is a lot steeper than it looks. And I went up and down. I didn't.
That's right. Yeah.
I couldn't do the sideways. I don't know how he does it.
No.
And he let Nathan do it last week, and I was very nervous.
Yeah.
But he did it.
That stuff makes me nervous.
He went up and down too, though.
Yeah, good for him. All right, so anyway, we learned that.
Yeah, so there's the grass.
All kinds of different directions. Excellent.
So how are you going to cut it this week?
Well,
you going to stick to your diagonal?
Yeah, no, I think I'll go side to side. I think I'll switch it up.
You're going to try it? Okay.
Yeah, I don't have to this weekend because I think I did it Monday or Tuesday of this week.
Okay, so it's good
I think I've been on an every 10-day pattern, so I think I'm due like next Thursday I'll do it, looking at how the weather is.
Have you thought about, because you mentioned there briefly, and I'm sorry I didn't catch it when you said it, but it did stick, about it soon being over. When do you put your lawnmower away?
That's a great question.
Do you have a date, or do you kind of just go by the weather? And I asked because yesterday I got the notification about closing the pool.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
From St. Lawrence Pools. They send us the reminder and then tips and tricks on how to do it. I'm like, closing the pool? Why would I close? And then I stopped and thought about where we were. It's like, oh, yeah, probably in a month.
Yeah,
we'll be shutting her down.
Because do the kids? No, I shouldn't call them kids. The boys. Do they swim after the first day of school? Do they still, or is that kind of done?
We're getting to the end now.
Yeah.
Unless we get a really hot snap, like something real, like another heat wave comes in the next week or so,
Yeah.
I would be surprised if they're in it after Labor Day, especially after Labor Day.
St. Lawrence Pools knows that then. Guys like that, they know.
Again, another reminder that, whoa, it's like August hits and then all of a sudden it comes quick. Mm-hmm. And when you said that about pretty soon we won't be cutting grass, it hit me again. It was like, oh yeah, like we won't be.
I know I do not mow my lawn in November. I refuse. And yet...
And there have been years. That have been mild.
Because I won't always... Because I've got... My push mower's got the bagger. So that's where a lot of the leaves get done and then dumped out the back.
So will you cut the grass and pick up leaves?
Yeah. I mean, I'll
mulch it up,
but I will rake and get rid of some of the big stuff. But then, the smaller stuff just gets mulched up, and all that's great. And then, maybe I only have to mow every couple of weeks, but then I'll get to about the middle of October and go, okay, that's it. And then I look at the weather forecast. It's beautiful, right? Like, I mean, still
there are years
high of 16. So a couple of weeks of that, we're closing in on Halloween. It's still 14 degrees, and
it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
People were golfing Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I refuse in November. So whatever the last one is in October, that's going to be it.
So you could have like a hay field at the end of November if we don't get any snow. And your arms crossed out on the front yard.
I'm 60-year-old guy looking at squirrels in the feeders, throwing my slippers, looking at my lawn.
Kathy said something, would you do it?
Sure, of course I would. Sure I would. I'd do whatever she said. I do whatever she asked me to do.
Okay, that's interesting because I wasn't. I couldn't remember if you had like a September 30th or the third weekend in October. I put it away.
I think I used to say that I'm not going to mow the lawn in October, and then I don't know again if it's global warming, but I've got to mow my lawn in October, and then get the snowblower ready. But last year was the last year I properly put away both lawnmowers with empty gas tanks. Properly, and they both worked magically when I started them this year, because I tend to leave a little bit of dead gas in there, and then
I drained them completely, and they started right up.
I had to do the walk of shame with my snowblower a couple of years ago now. When first time I mowed the lawn this year, back in late April, I had it looked like just a couple of spoonfuls of gas still left in the snowblower, so I just ran it. And then when I was halfway through the front lawn, I looked over and it had run out of gas. So perfect. All the trouble with the drain, it's like, I'll start you up. You'll be out in 10 minutes. All done. So I'm ready to go. So that's good. Some fresh oil and away we go.
Nice.
But the weeks of having to cut your lawn every week are starting to dwindle. And so now we'll get down to 10 days, 2 weeks. And so what does that mean? You have 5 or 6 lawnmowers left? As you get into the fall,
when you think about
all that stuff,
because I've started to cut back on my watering too with my plants.
Yeah,
it's now that it's cooler, because they're doing really well, and this is the time of year where they do start to. I don't want to say peak, but because it's a little cooler, it's not as intense. Like the heat's not as intense. They're not losing as much moisture. It's kind of nice to just kind of sit back, and then they don't die. They go and they go. It's like, oh my gosh, where were you in June?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I couldn't keep you going.
Exactly.
Up to Canada
I had to water you like 5 times a day, and now you're like, oh, you're not going to water me for a week? Fine, screw you. I'm going to bloom some more.
Not going to go anywhere.
Exactly. But it's been an interesting summer.
Has been. Enjoy it once we start getting into the fall fairs. 2 big ones are Sterling Fall Fairs this weekend.
This weekend, yes.
160th. Thanks for helping me out with the directions driving around that.
Downtown Sterling's opened up, so it should be fairly straightforward.
Thank heavens.
There's a few little pockets of construction now going on around Sterling, but in Sterling you should be good.
So you'll see that on the way home, right? Because you're going to go right by the fair.
Yeah, do you want me to give you an update?
Yeah,
do you want me to text you and let you know?
Yeah, you don't have to take pictures. I know what it looks like.
I will drive by the fair, though, because I made a point of driving by it this morning in the dark.
Yeah.
And I saw a few things, but I'll be driving by it this afternoon,
so
too.
Enjoy that. Also, InQuinte Rib Fest has round number 2, Belleville's turn for Rib Fest this weekend at Westwick.
Big Sisters, Big Brothers.
We're going to be benefiting from that. And the Caribbean Festival is tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
In downtown Belleville.
Weekend.
Summer Road Crew's going to be down there for that, and I'm off next week. So enjoy the week. Monday,
I haven't looked. What's the weather like next week?
I'm going to the CNE on Monday and going to see Jimmy Eat World.
Yes, you've mentioned
the
that.
Budweiser stage, Echo Beach with my son.
And then
that's
Niagara Falls for Train?
No, I'm not going. to Niagara Falls for train.
All right.
I'm not going to
We'll
go,
see.
but I really wish I was. But
I
I'm
know.
not going.
Okay.
And then stuff going on next week, and then I'll be back on the 28th. And then when we get together again, Charity, all things spicy, pumpkin spice will be back.
We'll be back.
We talked about that in the podcast. Here comes fall.
We're kind of tiptoeing into fall that week. It'll be like full on.
Full on door slam behind you.
Yeah.
You're into fall.
A week away from school starting.
Don't care what the calendar says. Here we go.
We're in it.
We are in it. So enjoy your weekend. Start listening for Taylor Swift specifically on the air. 95.5 Hits FM, teaming up with our friends with the Messina Touring Group. We've got 4 grand prize pairs of tickets to hand away for the Toronto stops in 2024, specifically November 16th, Charity's birthday. You and Charity
Great
can enjoy.
birthday present. Just saying.
Can go. You don't have a friend better than Charity
Just
anyway.
saying.
You should. Did you always want to date Charity?
Whoa, okay.
So anyway, we've got these tickets. So when you hear Taylor Swift, 9 minutes, 55 seconds, and we'll know, fill out the ballot on our website. We've got 2 weeks of it.
I was talking to our colleague over at Cool 100, and they have Taylor Swift tickets as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually were doing it this past week. They had started their ticket giveaway. And he said to me, he's like, you guys start yours next week? I said, yeah, it's pretty exciting. Really looking forward to it. This is awesome. He's like, yeah, just wait. It's crazy. Craziness. I'm like, I have no doubt.
Thousands.
Oh, when I heard we had them, I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
It's going to be, Yep, it's going to be great.
It begins tomorrow. Grand prize draw on the first day of school, so it runs through Labor Day. So keep it tuned and keep your website up. Get the app so you don't miss a spot. We stream with Chad Buell and Associates on our website at 955hitsfm.ca. It's going to get crazy. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your week. You have a good time.
You have a great week.
And we'll talk to you on the 28th. And enjoy your weekend here in the Quinte region.